If you have a house you're building and you have yet to complete it, would you be more peaceful living in that house than living as a tenant in another house? Let me ask again. You have a house you're still building. You've probably roofed it and put the windows, probably maybe tiled it. Is it more peaceful to live in that house than to live as a tenant? I'm going to share with you my own personal experience, but let me also have your own experience in the comment section as to this question. Is it more peaceful to live in your uncompleted building than as a tenant? Think about it. Let me have your answers in the comment section. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from across the world. My name is Omenoko Emeka Moses of the Omenoko Lifestyle channel. Omenoko One. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while. I last posted it's about 7 days plus, almost 8 days now, and a few hours if I want to check. Yes. Today I saw something online that caught my attention and I want to is it a review? Is it called a review? I don't know if that's what's called a review. I think that's the word. So someone made a post online. I saw it on Facebook and I want to analyze or review it. The person posted this picture. I'm going to post it on, you're going to see it on the screen right there, and said something interesting. It caught my attention because I'm into apartments and I know how long it took me to set up my own space as I am right now, where I stay currently. So the person made a post and posted this picture. I'm going to attach it on the screen, and it posted, a person who sleeps in his unfurnished house is more peaceful than a tenant. What I want to do is a reaction. This is a reaction video to what I saw online. A person, I think it's a Facebook group or so, Bulawayo notice board, Bulawayo inspires. A person who sleeps in his unfinished house is more peaceful than a tenant. This is a reaction video. So it's quite interesting. I read through the comments and I felt a little kind of, is it nostalgic, based off of my own experiences in my when I came here first. So I felt quite nostalgic because that video took me aback to when I moved into this apartment. I don't have a picture of when I moved in until I screeded this house, because I moved into this house unpainted when I finished building in 2017. But let me read, before I go into that, let me read out some of the reactions some people gave to that. So Titus Mayor said, this is false/true. At the same time, it only depends on your perspective. So what he's saying is that it could be true, it could be false, that if you move into your uncompleted house, you'll be more peaceful than as a tenant. Okay, the original post I was trying to say, if you move into your house, even though it's not finished, you will have more peace than when you're living in a rented apartment, in a rented house. In the sense that probably he's looking at it from the perspective of your landlord probably giving you issues in terms of rent if you're not meeting up and other bills. So he's probably saying if you're in your own house, you experience more peace. Titus Mayor is saying this is kind of true and is also false at the same time. It depends on the perspective. Well, he didn't elaborate. Emmanuel Newton said, if they never buy one motivational speaker, others no go learn. Nigerians, if they never buy one motivational speaker, others no go learn. Okay. That's probably those motivating people to go and build house or something. People are kind of funny sometimes on the internet space. Then someone, Brian's bet said, what if the tenant is being paid rent for by the company he's working for? Okay. What happens if the tenant is not actually paying rent where he's living? Wherever he's living is being paid for by the person is working for, the organization is working for. To me, that's not a good thing because at some point you will not work for that organization forever, so you have to still get your own space, either rented or owned. Fakinya Amos Temidayo said, who told you that only a tenant that's owning or living in a miserable house won't sleep peacefully? That got 151 reactions. Sammy Kais Jr. then said, this is not totally true because there are tenants who have their own personal house but decided to rent them out to others for reasons best known to them. And that's true. There are tenants that own their own house but decided to rent a house. Like, I actually have a guest in my apartment that has his own house, and at different times in my running this business, I've had guests that have their own even apartment, have their own serviced apartment, or have their own houses, but they decided to just probably take a break and come to mine. So someone is saying this is not true. There are tenants who have their own personal house, but they have decided to rent them out for reasons best known to them. I've also considered doing that. Where I stay, it's about 30 minutes to central town. There are certain times I just feel like just leaving this place and just go to get a place for myself somewhere else different. I can just, go and ease off my head, get my head cleared and all that. So there's another one, Lou J. Is it Moloko? Lou J Moloko. Can we talk about the curtain where there's no window? Okay, maybe from the picture. Okay, well, that's not a curtain. That's, I want to believe, a mosquito net. It's not a curtain, it's a mosquito net hanging off of some rope there. Once you want to sleep, you just spread it open and cover your mattress or your bed. A lot of people use that here in this part of the world. Another one, Kabiru Ali Mohammed. My condition right now, so comfortable, so peaceful mind. Okay, so this person actually has his house, it's not completed, but he's living right there. So why did I take interest in this? It's because of the content of the post. Do you really have peace if you're living in your uncompleted building? Other than more than when you were living in a rented apartment, in a rented house. Is it really peaceful? Let's look at it. Is it really peaceful if your house is not complete and you move in? Well, while you might have escaped the tentacles of landlord asking you that fear of when will your rent, your rent's about to expire, when will you pay your rent, will you renew your rent, while you escape all that, there are a whole new challenges that you will meet when you get to your own house. Like when I moved in here, I'm going to show you some pictures. When I moved in here June 9th 2017, I didn't know my roof was leaking. I'm going to show you this image. This is one of my rooms. I'll show you what this room looks like right now. I'm going to attach it right now. this particular room that was leaking. The roof was leaking. I didn't know that until I moved in here. You can see it was unpainted. I was already living inside this house like this. Look at the walls. Now this is one of my other bedrooms. This image, I was keeping my foodstuff and my fridge. Those are plastics with which I kept foodstuffs on my fridge in one of the rooms, because as a single man, I moved in here as a single man. My kitchen wasn't ready, just like my sitting room. When I cook, in fact, at that point in time, when I cook, my sitting room was so messed up. I had not tiled, I had not painted. I had just set up my room with my bed and my little belongings from my self-contained. In as much as I escaped the whole money stuff from landlords and all that, I still had to, I had a lot I hadn't done. So I'm asking, is there really peace? There was peace, but there was peace in terms of nobody is disturbing me. I was doing things at my own pace now, but I had to like double my effort. I had to work extra hard, and it wasn't really that easy for someone that was just starting business new. As in, officially, I was already doing business even while I was working, but I was now coming formally into the business world, leaving all form of corporate things, where I used to wear suits and ties and all that. If you see me now, I'm a shadow of whom I used to be then, because back then, if you had seen me, probably you see me on a tie and a suit or something, looking either smart casual or properly dressed in a very formal way. But right now, most times I'm either on a t-shirt, shorts, jeans and all that, because I don't have time. As a businessman, hustle and bustle, just keep moving. So I would understand what this man said when he said, it's true, that's Titus Mayor. It's true and false at the same time. It only depends on your perspective. So if you're looking at it from the perspective of landlord is not going to be bugging you, then probably it's true. You have peace of mind. But when if you have not really completed the house, what happens if you have not fixed the toilet? What happens if you have family that you need to move in with and they're not really comfortable? You have a wife, you don't want and your toilet is probably not fixed. She doesn't know, you don't know where she could go to ease herself in a proper place that every man wants to protect his honor. What happens in that situation? You see, it's so crazy. I know I used to have this was a day, 2 days. I think this picture was taken June 7th. This was right here in this room. In this room, somewhere here, while they were praying for the house. In this room, this room, while they're praying for the house, somewhere just here, we're all standing just here. My mom and this pastor from Kaduna and her friends and my siblings. Two of my siblings all came from Kaduna. It's quite interesting. I'm just looking at this picture. When I saw that video, it threw me aback. And this was another one in the compound while my mother was still praying for me. It was quite lonely here. Then also coming here, there were plenty of things that were so wrong, and I had limited finances to sort that out. In this video, it was raining here, and water was seeping through the roof, oh my god, there were so many things. It was supposed to be peaceful. I was peaceful at the moment until rain started. We're just June, the rainy season, it was just the beginning of the rainy season. Yes, it was just rain. It was raining in that period. And through these sockets, the open switches that had not fixed, water was coming through. These were things that required attention. And I was running low on budget. I was planning to rent an office space. That time, as at that time, it costed me about 750,000. The money I had with me was not really enough. I had to struggle to get this space, set it up, do some welding work for counters, and that means shelf to pack my goods, you know, a lot of things. It seemed peaceful on one end and not so peaceful at the other side of it. I'd also lost some money, a huge sum of money in MMM in that period. You know, when you know salary is not going to be coming by, you're trying to put your hands in many things, and all that. So I'd been doing MMM, I was planning to leave since December. When I lost money in December, MMM. Then, as at the time I left, when it seemed like MMM, MMM closed December 14th, 2016. If you did MMM, you know, then I was still working. So by the time I left work, April 2017, and preparing to come in here, my rent was going to expire June 9th, and that was when I actually left. So I was preparing to come here. So I came around that period, June, July, I think. MMM opened again. If you were into MMM, you know that window, it opened for about a month, which I did. And this was me sharing my testimony.
Hello, my name is Kweneko
I'm going to post
Emeka,
that.
an ordinary participant in MMM. I live in Abuja. I'm here again, once again, to testify of the goodness of MTN and MMM. Sorry. All right. On the 12th of June 2017, I provided help
12th of
for
June.
900,000
That's 3 days after I moved
naira.
in here. I
Well,
provided help.
as of today, which is the 19th of June,
Hmm.
19th of June, yes, I requested for I requested for help as at the 17th of June, but as at today, the 19th of June, I requested for help of 1,277,000, and as at today, 19th of June, all the money has been paid into my account
Wow.
within 48 hours. I didn't have to call anybody. Money was to be paid into my account. I've confirmed, and I want to say thank you, MMM and MMM rocks.
Yeah, there were plenty things, plenty stages. After I got this help, I plunged in the money again into MMM. I'd lost money. I don't want to call the amount. I'd lost a lot of money. It's not okay. Close to 6 million in MMM, yes. And after, because of the desperation, because there was no peace, I was looking for money here and there to tile my sitting room, to put my kitchen cabinets, to set up my office space, White Walls Technologies, Alcom Plaza. I was looking for money for a lot of stuff. So even when I got help, I plunged in the money, and MMM took that money forever again after losing close to 6 million. It was very, very crazy. It was very, very crazy. So when people say you have peace, in the first instance, if you're not, if you sometimes money is good. You may not, well, if people say you have money, if you have money, enough money, you might not move into your house uncompleted. You might just finish it up and have proper peace. But if you don't finish it up and you move in, there are also challenges that are associated with that. You might do things you wouldn't naturally want to do, and get into more complex situations that you would have otherwise avoided as a tenant. But if you have money to comfortably pay your rent wherever you are, I think you should keep up and while you finish your house. But if you know you wouldn't really have enough money to pay the rent and not have issues with the landlord, because relationship, no matter what, it's a very important thing. It's a very important thing. You shouldn't mess it up, like mess up someone's own business because of your inability to pay your rent. But if you know you can't really pay your rent, keep up with the rent and all that, it's best to use the money to put into your own uncompleted house. But it might not be peaceful, but you will be, will I say, content for the time being while you try to sort things out. It's not going to be easy, but it's a bittersweet situation. You'll be okay, nobody's on you breathing down your neck to bring money, and you'll be able to manage yourself if you are content. Godliness and contentment is great gain. If you're content with what you have, you just take things on the easy mode till you bring your house up to speed. It took me like 3 years before I could furnish the house. Okay, that same, I think August, September that same year, August, September that same year, 2017. I came in here June. I was able to tile, and I think July I actually did screeding. I couldn't take pictures in this place because I mean I was in my house, but it just, you know what I mean. It's living in an uncompleted building, not like uncompleted. At least I could stay inside, but it wasn't looking pleasing. So when I finally screeded, not even painted, I was able to take my first pictures in the house. Look at how I was looking back then. These are some of the first pictures I took because I was so pleased. Some of the first pictures I took. You can see the date is July 28th. July 28th, 2017. These are some of the first pictures I took. You can see the background is white. So that was the first, these are the first pictures I took after screeding the house. You know, it looked good and presentable. You know, I was telling people I moved into my house, but I can't show them my house. It's not like I'm not really that shy, that shy of a person. I'm not really shy, but you know, I didn't want people to start pitying me. Hey, this guy, they suffer. It looked like I was suffering temporarily, but I knew where I was going, and it was a journey I wanted to really like take for myself, take my time, set up the place, you know, set up my business and all that. What drew me to this, prompted me to make this video is this post I just saw. If you're in your uncompleted building, there is this picture that's attached to this post. I don't know if that's the real, I think it's just for illustrative purposes. A person who sleeps in his unfinished house is more peaceful than a tenant. Well, let me know what you feel in the comment section. If you have an experience of such, kindly drop a comment also. Till we meet again, Basibe.